Pulmonary and Critical Care Medicine Specialist mula po sa St. Luke's, Quezon City, at meron din po siyang advokasya pagdating sa medical literacy. Si Dr. Ana York Bondok ang makakasama po natin sa ating malayang talakayan. Dr. Ana, magandang umaga.
Hi, Miss Heidi. How are you? Good morning po sa inyong lahat and happy start of the Holy Week po.
Okay. Dr. Ana, napakaganda ng iyong background.
Thank you. Nasa probinsya po ito. Nasa bahay po kami.
Greens. Okay. Ang sarap po sa mata. Okay. Dr. Ana, bilang isang health expert, maire-recommenda niyo rin po ba na dagdagan pa ng isang linggo yung ECQ dito po sa NCR+?
Well, Miss Heidi, siguro let's look po at our situation bago po tayo makasagot po ng maganda dyan. Our daily rate remains to be very high po, no? Between 9,000 and 10,000. It will take some time po talaga bago bumaba po yun kasi yung exposure po natin, that's 5 days eh. So, yung mga positives na na-expose po before the ECQ, ngayon pa lang po nare-reflect. So, we're still going to have high numbers po talaga. And as to whether though ito pong Holy Week na to at ito pong ECQ will definitely po help us to bring down po our rates. And then again, let's look at the utilization naman po ng ating health facilities. Talaga pong very distressing po itong wala na hong room sa mga ER, may namatay na nga po, waiting in a tent. So all of this is really sad. I'm receiving lots of texts kasi nakatira po ako dito sa Pampanga, Miss Heidi. Ang balita po, pati dito napupuno na rin po ang mga ospital. So we are reaching po a critical condition talaga. And tingnan po natin at the end of the week what will happen and then we can decide po at that point. Though I really feel po na it's really too early to tell po yung kung bababa po yung rate natin. Definitely po, bumaba po yung mobility ng mga tao. If you go to the mall po sa Metro Manila, and I went to Mega Mall, halos wala pong laman ng tao doon, and that will definitely help. So whether we should extend the ECQ or not, tingnan po natin what's going to happen at the end of the week. Pero again, Ms. Heidi, I'd like to say na this is not economy versus health. Kasi kung hindi po natin makontrol yung pandemya, whether bukas yung economy or not, babagsak rin po yun. Kasi there's also something called public confidence. Kung wala po tayong public confidence, wala na rin lalabas. Halimbawa, 20,000 a day na tayo. Kahit hindi ka mag-declare ng ECQ, wala na talaga lalabas sa nervyos. And then, so talaga pong, I think economy and health go hand in hand. Ganun po yun. And we cannot choose between one or the other.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin po, Doktora, pa-explain po, yung ating ECQ ngayon, parang kailan po magre-reflect yan sa mga numbers po natin sa ating mga daily bulletin?
Siguro po within a week. Ganun po yon. Within a week, we will see it go down. Kasi po, di ba, if you are exposed on day 0, lalabas lang po yung symptoms nyo day 5. And then, likely, pag may nararamdaman po kayong symptoms, that's the time that you will get tested. Di po ba? Eh kung Sunday po kayo na-expose, which was the last day po of our pre-ECQ, Monday po nag-umpisa si ECQ, di po ba? Today is only what? Wednesday. So yung mga na-expose po over the weekend, ngayon pa lang po magkakaroon ng simptomas. Sa pagkakaroon po nila simptomas, that's the time that they will get tested. So yun po yun, there is a lag between sometimes maybe a week to 10 days po before we see the real numbers.
Okay. So ano po ang nakikita niyong mga sustainable na mga steps para hindi po tayo ganitong pabalik-balik po sa ECQ at recently po nag-MECQ na rin sa ibang mga lugar, Doktora, like Quirino and Isabela.
NCR Plus po, yes. Yes. Ms. Heidi, there's only one answer, and that is a quick, efficient vaccine rollout. Otherwise po, pabalik-balik na lang po tayo sa ECQ. I have already posted this sa Facebook. Ito po na rin ang nakita po sa various countries in the world. Yung UK po, Israel, bumababa po talaga yung kanilang rate with a good vaccine rollout. So I'm hoping po, anyway, papunta na tayo towards the second trimester, second half of the year na po, no? first quarter, second quarter, bale. I'm hoping po that more and more vaccines would arrive. I'm hoping that maging efficient po, fair, and equitable po yung rollout ng gobyerno. And sana po yung mga tao would also avail po of this opportunity. Ako po at Sinovac.
Nakatanggap na kayo, Doktora?
Well, I'm a doctor po, so Sinovac, opo. Majority po ng mga classmates ko po in the University of the Philippines, either, dalawa lang naman, Sinovac or Astra.
Kailan ka
So I would like to encourage
nagpa-vaccinate?
everyone, ito po lang talaga, this is really the best way that we could get over this pandemic. Kasi po, we can just keep on locking down, but we will, it will really take a huge toll on me. So po, one of the problems po talaga sa Pilipinas, Ma'am Heidi, yung influx po of people from abroad. Sa ibang bansa po, they quarantine them for 14 days po yung sa Australia, 21 days po sa Hong Kong. Sa Pilipinas, we have a huge OFW population. And we need the business, so hindi po madali sa atin na mag-lockdown lang po ng ganon. And sabi nga po nila, no one is safe until everyone is safe. So yung countries po na may pumapasok talaga, the variants, lahat po yan.
So, dapat po mas mahaba yung quarantine ng mga dumarating na overseas Filipino workers?
I would
Ibalik?
that po. Or at least, that has been found to be very successful po sa ibang bansa. Kasi po, last December, nangyari na po yun. And I'm sure all of those who went home could tell this to be the truth, na one test, one day, then uwi na. And then nobody monitors po yung quarantine ninyo sa bahay. And paggala-gala na po, sa ibang bansa talaga, they're extremely strict, Miss Heidi. You have to stay in a hotel for 14 to 21 days. But again, we have to balance this with our needs, with the number of overseas workers coming back home, at saka kawawa rin naman ho sila, no? Marami pong babalansehin. So it's very difficult. Ito pong coming from abroad, yung iba pong mga bansa na gumawa nito, they don't have overseas, wala naman ho overseas Filipino Hong Kong na umuuwi wanting to see their families. Ano po? Or overseas, though there might be, but not that many. Unlike sa Philippines po, talagang yun po yung lifeblood ng Pilipinas eh. And para pahirapan pa po sila with a quarantine, nakakakonsensya din. Kaya lang, the first of our variants really came from abroad po.
Okay. So
that
sa
could
ngayon,
be one of the reasons. People ask, how did the variants arrive in the Philippines? From abroad.
Okay. So sa ngayon kasi Doktora, on the 5th day, tsaka pa lang sila itetest. Tapos pag negative, i-release na sila.
That is a good idea.
Oo. Pero yung pag-release po sa kanila, pagpapauwi sa kanila, dapat 14 days pa rin na magstay muna sa quarantine?
Actually, ang advice po talaga, sa amin po sa Pampanga, our governor will pick you up, put you up in Clark, test you after day 5, and you have to stay there for 14 days regardless of the test.
Okay. Pero dito po
Yun
kasi
po
sa
talaga
NCR, parang pag nag-negative ka, halimbawa, na-test ka on the day 6, the following day, pagka negative na, pwede ka na umuwi, iyahatid ka na. Okay.
Opo.
So,
but sana po you stay in your house. I would really advise everyone to please stay in their house until they do the 14 days po.
Okay. Balikan ko po, Doktora, yung
po.
nakikita nyo pong kailangan natin quick and efficient vaccine rollout. Pero kahapon po, muli pong inamin ni National Task Force Chief Implementer po natin, Secretary Galvez, na yun nga, may delay po tayo dun sa Astra. Dapat March 24, pero sa mga logistics daw po nagka-problema kaya hindi po dumating. So ito po yung parang sinasabi po nila, wala ito sa control nating mga Pilipino wala ito sa control ng ating pamahalaan. Yung global supply, global demand po ang ating kalaban.
Yes, Miss Heidi, unfortunately talaga pong labanan ito ng mga bansa po talaga eh. And if you read the newspapers po, there's currently like India po, no, they're supposed to be producing vaccines for Europe. Nagkaroon po na surge ang India, so sabi nila, yung pre-produce namin, amin na lang muna, 'di ba? So you cannot fault them for that. Sari-sarili
Yes.
muna eh.
Mhm.
Opo, sa European Union naman po, they are withholding po the export of various Astra vaccines for their own use. So they're really, when you hear about this, every country is trying to protect itself muna. So
Mhm.
until such supply becomes widely available po talaga, wala po talaga tayong choice but to really discipline ourselves, rely po on a lockdown muna. Hopefully, bumaba po talaga yung mga kaso. Pag bumaba po talaga yung mga kaso, ayusin po natin yung ating personal behavior and again, public policies, which include po yung airport.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. Pero tama rin ba yun, Doktora, na sinasabi ng pamahalaan, hindi lang naman tayo yung bansa sa mundo na nagla-lockdown ulit. Yan. Kasi alam niyo naman
Oh
po,
yes
maraming...
naman.
Mm-mm.
Oo naman, Miss Heidi. UK is just emerging this week po. I think yesterday from a very strict lockdown po. That's the United Kingdom, that is a first world country with so many resources. Ang Italy po and Germany, in fact, it was quoted po na this is yung, kasi po nag-emerge po yung mga UK variant or B1117.
7.
Discriminatory na daw yung mga places ngayon, Miss Heidi. Kaya lang mas madali talagang sabihin yung lugar eh, di ba? Nagkalat po siya sa Europe. And na-quote po na it is a new form of pandemic po sa Germany. So Germany, Italy, UK, India, Brazil out of control na rin po. UK, nagra-rise na naman ang mga, US, nagra-rise po ang cases due to variants. So the Philippines is not alone. But of course, hindi po yun excuse para wala na pong gagawin. The Philippines may not be alone, but definitely we should alter, dalawa po personal and public. Yung public po with the proper policies, yung personal po, yung sarili nyo pong ginagawa. Kasi dito po sa nangyayari pong ito, Miss Heidi, every person matters. So talagang nagbibigay po siya ng importansya na bawat po galaw natin, you think that you're a small person, but you could create a big problem. Yun lang po. So everyone matters sa ganito pong sitwasyon.
Okay. So kung ganun po pala yung nangyayari sa different nations, parang Doktora Ana, hindi ba possible na since ayun nga alarming yung spike ng cases natin, tapos
Alarming.
overwhelmed yung mga hospital natin. Naisip kasi, hindi ba pwedeng mag-special request tayo, let's say sa COVAX, sa World Health Organization?
Sana. I like that. Opo.
Pwede
Kaya
ba
lang
yun?
nauna na ata
Humirit?
yung Brazil na nagwawala dun sa harap ng WHO. Magwala tayo behind Brazil, that's okay. No, yes, definitely. I would agree na the Philippines is an important nation. We contribute much to the world. If they can give us extra supplies, I'm all for that po. At saka po, eto lang, nabanggit po ni UN President, this is geopolitics talaga at its worst. At palakasan po ng kayamanan po ng bawat bansa. Talagang, the smaller medium nations are going to be pushed around by the bigger nations. So tayo po, wala na po tayong aasahan except ourselves. So let's fix our country, let's fix our policies, and let's fix po our individual behavior. And kung lahat po tayo magtutulong-tulungan, I think we can survive until the vaccines arrive. And again, yung behavior po natin. Pagdating po ng vaccines, well, we have to be receptive naman po to them. Kasi baka naman humisedi, dumating yung mga bakuna, walang gustong magpabakuna. And that's another story. And that's another whole episode po in itself.
Yun na nga po yung gusto kong tanungin sa inyo ngayon, Dr. Ana.
Mahirap, but don't lose hope.
Oo. Kasi may mga senior citizens na rin pong nabavaccinate ngayon.
Good. That's good po.
Oo.
And I would definitely urge all senior citizens, please, naghahanap na po na sila ng listahan. Do get yourself listed. And pag tinawag po kayo, please proceed.
Ano po ba ang mga dapat tandaan ng mga minamahal nating senior citizens sa pagtanggap po nila ng bakuna? O kaya ano po yung parang mga damdamin po nila, bakit medyo hesitant po sila na magpa-vaccinate?
Ma'am Heidi, this is correct, no? Because I live in a barangay, may kausap lang po akong barangay secretary, ano po. Sabi po niya, napapansin niya na there's a real hesitation po for the senior citizens to be listed. And nag-run po ako ng sarili kong survey. A lot of what came out po was worried about the Dengvaxia kasi ang DOH din daw ang gumawa ng Dengvaxia. Ngayon daw, parang gusto lang nilang kalimutan na daw natin yung ginawa nilang gulo. Another reason that I found out po was people are worried about comorbidities. What are comorbidities? Yun po yung mga ibang sakit nila that includes high blood, diabetes, yung iba po cancer. Ito po sasabihin ko, no, yung comorbidities po and becoming old, yun po yung dalawang reasons kung bakit po if you get COVID, likely po you will have a serious case, possibly be hospitalized, possibly be ICU'd, and possibly die. So being elderly, having different na sakit, mas lalo po kayong malakas ang possibility po na pag natamaan, masama po yung mangyayari. So all the more reason na you should be vaccinated kasi po kayo po ang most vulnerable. How to convince your parents? Mahirap po, Miss Heidi, but I suggest patience. Lawakan po yung pangunawa. Don't start yelling in your house, ano ba, ganon, and then start lecturing your parents. Hindi po makakatulong yon. I would suggest po exploring like, Nay, ano po ba ang, what's stopping you? And then giving po scientific answers. Kaya lang ang mga Pilipino po, Miss Heidi, sometimes we are driven by emotion. Maybe if you have relatives po from abroad, Nay, kausapin po natin si Tito na bakunahan na po siya sa US. So then maybe a conversation might help po. Telling them, Nay, tawagan po natin yung doktor nyo para marinig po ninyo mismo that you need to be vaccinated. So ako po, consultation with your doctor, and sa akin po, I found it very helpful to have people that you personally know. Kasi iba naman ho yung influencers, ano? Iba po talaga yung influencer sa pamilya nyo. Like,
itong si AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca, Ms. Heidi, is the one that is registered po or given the EUA po for seniors in the Philippines. So if you are 60 and above, then AstraZeneca is what you are supposed to receive. Ngayon po, kung dumating po yung Sinovac sa lugar nyo and no sign of AstraZeneca, I have personally seen, met, and talked to persons po na senior, usually doctors they wanted to get vaccinated already. They did not want to wait for Astra. So they signed po that they are willing to receive Sinovac. So eto po, no, people always ask me this, is Sinovac unsafe po for seniors? Hindi po. The Philippines, over an abundance of caution, approved Sinovac for 18 to 59 years old because yun po yung na-testing. There was no trial yet run for Sinovac for those 60 and above. But why do they do this? Kasi normally, Miss Heidi, pag nagre-recruit talaga sila, syempre nire-recruit mo nila yung bata. And then later on, they test it on kids and then on seniors and kids. So right now po, the trials were run on 18 to 59. But in China po, seniors of all ages are receiving Sinovac. And wala naman pong lumalabas na bad news. And we are hoping po that they would publish their article, yung kanila pong study. And kung nagmamadali po kayo, and a lot of senior doctors signed the form, it's okay to receive Sinovac din po. You just need to sign a form.
Anong form yun, Doktora?
Wala
Waiver?
naman hong masamang nangyari doon sa Sinovac. Hindi lang po siya na-test for 60 and above.
Pero ano yung form, Doktora? Kasi pag waiver, baka
it's like, I'm willing to take po Sinovac. I'm willing to take Sinovac, and I realized that Sinovac was not licensed for people 60 and above.
Okay, so
you have a choice po. You can wait for Astra. Wala naman masama. Opo. You can wait for Astra if you're a senior. Though a lot of doctors po signed the senior form for Sinovac.
Tapos wala naman silang adverse events.
Wala naman po. Ako, well, I wouldn't say wala. That's not the proper term to use. Let us put it this way. They had mild side
Yun.
effects. Ano po yung mild side effects? Yung iba po, they felt nanghina sila. Yung iba po, bumigat yung kamay. Yung iba po, felt parang a little close to the flu or a slight sinat. But everyone that I've spoken to po, after one day, okay na po sila. And again, Miss Heidi, 400 million na po ang nabakunahan sa buong mundo. So, marami ka nang kasama. Yun.
Okay. Kayo,
You're
Dr.
not alone.
Sinovac?
Opo.
Sinovac,
Yes,
ano?
Sinovac. I felt okay po after the next day.
Ano po? May
And
tenderness?
I'm coming back po next week. Wala po. I felt totally okay. As in totally okay. Yes, ma'am. Sobra. So, I'm coming back po second week of April. So I'm really excited kasi po the full effect po, no? Kasi people always ask me, Miss Katie, bakit yung may iba nabakunahan na ng Sinovac nagkasakit pa or nabakunahan na po? Well, two things, ano po, when you get vaccinated, di naman nila sinabing di ka magkakasakit. But yung promise po ng 90% or what the vaccines are said to prevent, which is severe COVID, hospitalization, and death, occurs 2 weeks after the second dose. So I'm really excited about my second dose kasi after that, 2 weeks after, okay na ako. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, there have been cases of people who got COVID po after their vaccination, but most likely po, that is after the first dose. And also probable po that they were exposed. Diba sinabi ko, Miss Katie, 5 days. So pwede po silang na-expose before they got vaccinated.
Tapos nag-manifest
But again,
na
I'd like
lang.
to yeah, their COVID did not come from the vaccine, Miss Katie. Walang ganon.
False
COVID
news
did not
yun.
come from the vaccine. Opo, it false. Super. Their COVID, they also got po from another person.
Okay, yun nga lang, nag-i-incubate
at hindi ng
pa kasi.
bakuna, ha? Ng ibang tao.
Yes. Okay. Doktora, may nagtatanong lang sa inbox natin. Ano nga daw po ulit yung mga possible side effect ng bakuna?
Possible po yung sinat. Possible po na bumigat ho ng konti yung inyong kamay. Possible po na medyo mamula ho ng konti yung pinag-injectionan or parang masakit kasi tinurukan or what we call slight tenderness at the injection site. Pwede rin pong flu-like symptoms. Some people po just felt a little unwell. And which is very common kung kayo po ay nagpabakuna ng bata. No? There are a lot of parents out there na nagdadala po ng mga infants to be vaccinated. Yung iba pa nga ho, binibigyan ng paracetamol yung mga kids or told na wag maligo. It is a natural reaction po talaga to having been vaccinated. And in fact nga po, people say na it's good to have side effects because it means that your immune system is really pushing and forming po antibodies. So yun po yun. So I would suggest just relax lang po. Expect na you might feel something. If you need to take like half a day off, okay lang naman. Yung iba ho, diretso-diretso lang na sa trabaho. Ako po, dumiretso lang po. I did not even stop and I really did not feel anything. But again, iba-iba po ang bawat tao.
Okay. Punta naman tayo, Doktora, sa sitwasyon sa atin pong mga ospital. Sa palagay niyo po,
very sad.
Paano natin ma-address, paano natin mapapaluwag? Yun nga po, sadly, may mga pasyente hindi na nakakaabot sa loob ng ER. Sa tent na lang outside the hospital, pumapanaw.
Namamatay.
Opo.
Miss Lady, that is really, it can break your heart. Because you know what? Wala na pong income level na protected from this. Pwede ko kayong bilyonaryo, they'll put you in a tent. Kasi wala na po, siguro you can buy your own tent, Pero gano'n na po talaga yung sitwasyon po talaga ngayon. It's not only po the hospital beds na nagkukulang, but the hospital personnel po. Kasi imagine, marami din hong naka-quarantine na So talagang our hospital beds, our hospital personnel And yung mga gamit po talaga kulang na po. So, eto lang personal experience. I tried to put one of my patients po sa Cardinal. And then tumawag po ako. This was last week, ano po. Sabi nila, doktora, number 76 na po yung pasyente nyo. Nakapila. So don't bring them here, otherwise they'll be really outside in the parking lot. So after 3 days, naging number 26 na lang po. So after the 4th day, hindi na ho pumunta yung pasyente kasi gumaling na by herself. Luckily. Pero imagine if you were like Miss Heidi, kung talagang mommy niyo po yun, and then really, let's say, senior, ganun po. Talagang to be number 76 is just devastating. And that was last week. This week, baka number 150 ka na.
Dahil nga sa surge,
Oo, talagang malungkot. At saka, Miss Heidi, aside from that po, not only the COVID patients ang naapektuhan, pati po yung mga non-COVID. Kasi imagine naman ho, you had a heart attack, tinakbo ka sa ER, andun ho lahat ng tao sa tent. Saan ka ilalagay? So even po the non-COVID, let's say nasagasaan po kayo or what, maapektuhan po talaga kayo with the number of people just waiting in the ER. So this surge, of course, it's devastating to the COVID serious, but it's also extremely devastating po just to regular, kasi naman meron naman inaatake, meron nung nasasagasaan, meron pong napupulmonya, yung regular pulmonya, meron pong people needing to receive chemotherapy. All of that is going to be affected po by the backlogs in the hospital. Like for example, how can you get a CT or an X-ray kung lahat po na naka-COVID, nakapila doon? So yun po yun. It's extremely devastating to both the COVID patients, Miss Heidi, and the non-COVID emergency patients. And wag na ho nating pag-usapan na lang yung mga talagang kailangan na ho pumunta na natatakot kung pumunta ngayon. So meron din ganun na namamatay na lang po sa bahay.
Sa bahay.
I actually had a number of cancer patients po na hindi na pumunta and they just died.
Hindi na pumunta dahil takot na magka-COVID.
Takot.
Oo.
All, I would say po, all patients in the ER. Kasi pag puno yung ER,
sa ngayon ba, Doc,
ER,
effective ba yung One Hospital Command Center?
Ma'am, I've heard people still using it. The app is only as effective. Sana ina-update po nila, Ngayon, kung masyado na sila busy mag-update, pati
mag-accept ng calls.
Yes. What I heard po is that they are hiring more persons po for the One Hospital Command Center kasi talagang sobrang dami na po yung tumatawag. Tsaka I'm a part of Viber groups po ng mga doktor. Pati ho mga parents ng doktor may tumatawag. Yesterday, my cousin called me. Yung friend daw nila nasa Pampanga na po. Tinatanong nila kung may kilala ako doon. 2 persons called me kasi na-hospital na po sila. One from Bulacan went to Pampanga. Yung isa po from Metro Manila, tinakbo na lang po sa Jose Bilingan, which is our parang PGH po dito sa Pampanga.
So lumalabas na sa bubble.
They need to go out of the NCR, Miss Heidi, do wala na pong ospital. Opo. Or wala na pong hospital beds. And not only the beds kasi it's not physically the bed, Miss Heidi. Kasi baka sabihin mo, dami namang kama dyan, di nyo higaan ng pasyente yan. Hindi po ganun kasi every patient needs a nurse, yun po yun yung complete po ng mga personnels and nagkakaproblema na rin po.
Okay. Dapat pong maintindihan po yun, nung mga mahal sa buhay.
Ay, opo. Nakakatakot talaga. Kaya yung kasabihan po ng Miss Heidi na bawal magkasakit, hindi lang ho bawal magka-COVID, bawal na rin ho lahat ng sakit kasi you're gonna get yourself into an ER situation po na hindi po maganda.
Pero Doc, di ba sa mga ER may triage dyan? Pero bakit may namamatay sa labas ng tent?
Alam mo, Miss Heidi, I've worked in ERs and triage for a really long time. Okay, triage niyo yung pinaka-serious. Sila po yung nasa loob ng ER. Sabihin na lang po natin, pinaka-serious are inside the ER. Yung mga bagong dating po, at saka po yung mga mild to moderate, nasa labas po ng ER. Eh kung si moderate po naging serious bigla, and that can happen with the COVID po, no? Tsaka baka na heat stroke, Diyos ko, ang init-init, it's summer. Imagine if you're 80 years old, you're a moderate patient, you have diabetes, you have hypertension, and then they stuck you in a tent. Within 2 hours po magiging severe ka na by just being in the tent. So, of course, they want to bring you inside the ER. But what if the ER po is occupied by all the serious? Saan ho kayo hihiga? So, ganun talaga, Miss Heidi. And,
Okay.
you know, I've coded people on a table. It's never good. It's heartbreaking, actually.
Oo. Oo, Doktora Ana, pinapaintindi natin yan sa ating mga nakikinig at nanonood kasi sa mga panahon ngayon talaga, mas madali pong magsuot ng face mask kaysa tubuhan
Kaysa
ka,
maghintay sa
lagyan ka
tent.
ng
Opo.
respirator, maghintay ng turn mo sa ER. Oo.
Opo. And, you know, people say like, in a day, ano po yun the more lumalaki po talaga, talaga napupuno po yung ating ER. And then, not to mention po yung mga displays na inatake, na stroke, nasagasaan, nahulog, nanganak, lahat po yun apektado.
Okay. Doktora Ana, ngayong Holy Week break natin, ano ang dapat na pag-isipang mabuti ng ating mga kababayan?
Ay, Miss Heidi, how to have a safe and healthy Holy Week? Ano po? First of all, don't travel. Even if you are not in the NCR Plus, I would really, ako personally, I'm not gonna meet any relatives. And I have a feeling they also don't wanna meet me. Kasi po yung husband ko, mayor at umiikot. So, hindi po natin alam yung exposure ng bawat isa. If you are in the NCR, you are not allowed to travel. Or at least you are advised not to travel po talaga. And if you are in the province naman po at meron pong mga relatives coming from the NCR, I hate to say bad stuff about people, pero talagang dapat po may caution kasi talagang hindi po alam talaga ng mga tao kung meron po sila o wala. It's not their fault. So, kayo na lang po, it's up to you na rin po. Sa akin po, I would advise not to travel. I would advise na we just stay with each other's household groups. Yung bahay niyo, wag niyo nang dagdagan ng ibang tao, kahit po kapatid niyo yan. And I hate to say this, kahit anak o nanay niyo yon, masakit, Ma'am Heidi, kasi imagine to turn away relatives. If you are not in the NCR Plus, no, baka you might be saying, mababa lang sa amin. But one case can immediately, yun yung pangit sa COVID, yung exponential increase. Miss Heidi.
Yes.
You know,
Out
people
of
say to me,
control.
ano ba, doktora, number 6 lang yung COVID sa namatay. But I have never seen po a disease and I'm really, really experienced. Hindi naman ho, pag may na-cancer, hindi naman ho 7 persons the next week may cancer na rin sa loob ng bahay nyo. No, wala naman pong ganun eh. And that's the scary part po about COVID is the spread. Baka sabihin nyo, the seriousness. Well, it's scary na rin, ano? But yung rapid spread po or what we call po exponential. And with the new variants po na mas nakakahawa, talagang grabe po talaga yung at saka yung dati niyo pong ginagawa dati, you might say, doktora, nag-inuman naman ako dati with my
lagyan ka ng respirator, mag-intay ng turn mo sa ER.
Opo, and you know, people say like, why be afraid of COVID? Anyway, 2% lang po yung death rate, no? Kaya lang po, 2% of 10,000 a day, ano po yun the more lumalaki po yung number ng mga tao pong nagiging positive, syempre po the 2% gets bigger and bigger kasi lumalaki yung general number po, no? So dumadami po talaga yung mga namamatay. And dumadami rin po talaga yung mga nauospital kasi 20% will require medical attention. So as the number gets bigger and bigger po talaga, talaga napupuno po yung ating ER. And then, not to mention po yung mga displays na inatake, na stroke, nasagasaan, nahulog, nanganak.
Kaysa tubuhan ka, lagyan ka ng respirator, mag-intay ng turn mo sa ER.